I hardly know where we are, let alone what this place is. I just want my husband back. I've heard that these wilds are the last place in Detir to find the Fae undisturbed. I'm a seamstress, an excellent one. Lot of good it's doing me right now. Please, my husband needs help. I can't bear to think about what the Fae are doing to him in there. We were just trying to pass through to the Red Marches when Amalur became ill. We had stopped so he could catch his breath when the Fae came storming out of their ruin. They took him past the barrier to the south, and I haven't seen him since. They took him to a ruin beyond that fort. I have no idea what they're speaking of. Please, thank you so much. The Fae took him through the narrow pass nearby.
Sands beget a mortal. Fascinating.
Greetings. You are strange. There's something distinctly Fae about you. The Fae have thrived here for many cycles. Though the way the seasons have been flowing, we may not thrive for much longer. Some of our brethren departed, like our champion, Engard. Some went mad and became Narca. Those of us who are left remain for the sake of this land. If it were free of the Narca curse, we would gladly follow after our champion.
We have confidence that he'll appear in Amalur once again. Every Fae is compelled to perform a function, and reigning as champion was Engard's role. When the champion returns, the circle of Engard will take up arms once again, and our rites of combat will shake the earth. I direct the circle of Engard in its duties. My allies and I serve the champion of valor, not the mortal pretender, but the Fae known as Engard. Unfortunately, the champion is no more. Not since his defeat in the arena by mortal hands. The Fae champion of valor, Engard, was defeated in battle years ago at the House of Valor by a Varani warrior. In accordance with Fae tradition, control of the house passed to that mortal, and the Fae were forced to leave. They are our brethren. afflicted by the same curse as the Almain Allard. Left untreated, the curse alters the mind and role of the afflicted. We term these brethren Narker, and you'll find them wandering the desert of Ulcerund, attacking any that come near. They cannot tell friend from foe. It'll take some time before it's safe to walk the sands without a resolution to this dilemma. We realize our presence in Detir is rapidly diminishing. If we can re-establish the tradition lost with the House of Valor, perhaps we can still stabilize our presence in this region.
Releasing him would be detrimental to Fae and mortal alike. I sense something peculiar about you, though. Perhaps you could help him. He could be healed, we surmise, with the completion of the Rite of Valor. Have you noticed my enraged summer brethren out in the sands? They attack anyone, friend or foe. We of the Circle term it the Narker Affliction. It's a curse magical in nature. The affected cannot be reasoned or bargained with. The Almain fell victim to the curse, and though it has not altered his mind, he complains of pain. He warrants study, and so we keep him. The key is the Cora Petal. The regenerative properties of the petal can cure the Almain. You'll find it on the vessel of the Guardian of the Caverns, the Cora Thresh. The Rite of Valor will awaken the Guardian, which has lain dormant in this long winter. Defeat it, and the petal can be plucked from its vessel. Head to the Caverns of Ingress at the base of the Great Spine. There are 3 Erathi sigil stones within. They are marked by a waterfall, a pillar, and a tree. Activate them in that order. Each stone will curse you. Once the last stone is activated, a beast of many vines will challenge you in your weakened state. Defeat it, and bring the Cora Petal to us. You must activate 3 sigil stones within the Caverns of Ingress. They're marked by a waterfall, a pillar, and each stone at the right's end.
Farewell, mortal.
Champ. Well done. I can use the petal to create an elixir for the Almain. He needs only to drink this. If it indeed frees him from the curse, he may leave. And I will finally have hope of saving Ulcerund from the Narca. Their effects are temporary. The curses will vacate your body if you begin the rite, and then leave the caverns of Ingress. Administer the potion to the Almain.
We have waited long for the champion to return.
You've returned. Will the Fae allow me to leave? This place is as foreign to me as my Fey captors. There's nothing here except the lethal wildlife and a scorching sun above. And all the Fey we could ever hope to meet. Blasted, I'd leave right now if I could. They keep talking about how I can't leave until I'm free of the Narca affliction. You saw my wife. Thank goodness she's all right. I bet she'd wait out there for a decade if she had to. I hope I won't be stuck here for that long. My wife and I were just passing through Ulceron. We lost our way trying to get to the Red Marches when I grew ill. The next thing I know, I have a burning fever, and when I stopped to catch my breath, the Fae ambushed us. They'll let me go if this works. Fine. I'll drink anything at this point. I can feel the curse leaving me. I'm not just saying that so I can leave. It's like a fever's breaking. I should get back to my wife. Thank you again, and farewell.
That was impressive. Our success with the Almain bears great portent for Ulceron. If a mortal can be cured, then maybe a Fey can as well. I believe that you could survive a journey through the Fellfire Pit. Will you help us with another task?
Ulcerund is among the last Fey lands untouched by mortal civilization. But it is not without its difficulties. Some of our brethren have fallen to a curse that renders them feral and frenzied. My brethren and I make up the Circle of Engard. We seek to restore the Fey rights lost when the mortals took the House of Valor. The Circle is holding vigil, waiting for the champion to return.
We wish to repeat our success with the Almain at a much grander scale. To do this, we require the essence of another plant, this time from the Fellfire Pit. The pit is located at the base of the great spine of Ulcerund. The flower, the Fellfire bloom, rests there. The only plant that grows in the pit. We know the mortal fondness for compensation, and will reward you significantly. Excellent!
Then head to the Fellfire Pit, where the Guardian of the Bloom awaits. We have waited long for the champion to return.
Students of magic, masters of spells. Curios, clasps, Sleeves and robes. Lyria's light guide you. Students of magic, masters of spells.
This life offers two choices. Fight or die. Those who choose to live face conflict. It is the natural balance of this world. The weeds preclude the flower's bud. The spider's web arrests the fly. The water carves the rock. In the dry waste of the Tyr, in the land known as Ulcerund, the House of Valar became the home of this primal force.
things again. Excellent. You have my thanks, child. Now, we can use the power of the Fellfire Bloom to begin the removal of this curse from our lands. We will, however, require your services once more to accomplish this. Will you aid us again? Seek an audience with the keepers of the crossing, and then administer the sample of Fellfire Bloom to the heart of this land. With luck, you will free this entire region from the Naga affliction. The restorative properties of the Fellfire Bloom will remove the Naga's affliction from the font of the crossing. The Summer Fae who live here are tied to the land, and the land in turn is tied to the crossing. You must invoke the Keeper's Right in order to reach the crossing. The first step is to challenge Pura at the Crown of the Sun to battle. You need proof that you have bested her to pass through Caer Alatha. Very well. Defeat Pura, and she will give you the Amulet of the Sun. Take the amulet to the keepers at Caer Alatha, and they will allow you to pass. At the bottom of Caer Alatha, you'll find the font of the crossing. Place the sample of Fellfire Bloom atop it. If our theory is correct, your help in this.
From the Desert Runner's lethal dance to the chaos of the wolf pack, the Fae displayed these contests as art. Engard, the embodiment of contention, arose as champion. His strike was as the mantis leg, a bolt amid stillness. He met defeat like the salamander's tail, lost, but only to grow again. He inflicted wounds like the serpent's fang, rotting poison to weaken the mightiest opponent. His baleful stare was the shark's fin above the water's surface, promising a bloody end.
child of dust. What brings you to the crown of the sun? The desert is unkind to mortals. Alcerund is the last bastion of the Fae in Detir, one of the few places in these desert lands where we are plentiful. I do not wish to speak to you about Fae affairs, mortal. This place is older than your mind can grasp, and it will remain long after you are gone. They are summer Fae, but their minds have been altered. They attack any who travel the sands, be they mortal or Fae. I am the guardian of the Crown of the Sun. It is my role to watch this sacred place and see to the safety of the keepers in training. Florian told you of it. They must trust you implicitly. It is one of many sources of our worldly power. It is an almost limitless source of magical energy, closely tied to the essence of Alcerund. They spent hundreds of years here in preparation of their duties. I am tasked with meeting their needs, ensuring they are ready. It will be several hundred years before the replacements for the current keepers arrive. Florian and the Circle sent you to access the crossing. It is highly unusual for a mortal to invoke a Fae rite, but your aura is most unlike a mortal's. Very well. Prepare yourself. Well done. You are a skilled combatant. It's no wonder you've earned the respect of Florian and his Circle. The Amulet of the Sun is yours, and with it your right to descend to the crossing.
The Great Ones contested Engard's knowledge, and time and again they failed. The combat space was a patch of dirt, which soon became a clearing. The clearing, trampled by the feet of warriors, sunk into the earth and became an arena where the bravest mortals heard the feral clamours of the combatants. The House of Valor was born.
The wars of Glir Athwin came crashing to the ocean's turmoil. Our people, despaired and battle-weary, hiding from the ogre's fists, saw Beala Tyrion atop the revered spire, dressed in priestly garb and circled by a camp of mages. Wise Tyrion called forth the grace of Lyria, her beauteous song, paragon of the ethereal. The people climbed to her side, a summit cloister of spell-woven forces. She smote the Jotun from the hallowed pinnacle, and never again did they return. Rathir, she named the place where sharp rocks break the water's surface. This home for all Dokkulfar, the lunar crag of Lyria, founded in the 14th year after the parting.
Welcome to Caer Elatha, mortal. We have not had visitors in a very long time. What do you seek? It is no accident that Caer Elatha is a place of great spiritual confluence. The crossing's flow of energy has influenced the landscape, shaped it as the ancients once did. Halcyon is my companion, and a revelation. I never in my life spoke to a summer fae, yet now I see that winter and summer are not so different. Always dear Pura has stood vigil at the Circle of the Sun, awaiting the new keepers to give them direction. It was she who led Halcyon and myself to the crossing when we first arrived in Amalur. I am quite skilled at sage crafting. It is one of my roles. I will aid you if you require it. It is a nexus of energies, a place where magic flows infinitely. There are few such places on Amalur, and the Keepers are tasked with protecting them. The Keepers live to prevent use of the crossing by either Fae Empire. Its power is such that both Summer and Winter Fae have agreed to leave its power unharnessed. Yes, I am Winter Fae and Halcyon is Summer Fae. That is the nature of the crossing. A representative from both courts remains here for balance. I always distrusted the Summer Fae, but it is difficult to distrust your only companion. Over the centuries, Halcyon and I have grown to rely on one another. To deal with the Narca curse. If Pura has given you the means to pass, then do so. You should seek out Halcyon. He will assist you in this. It is where the replacement keepers go to prepare for their work at the crossing. When it is time for them to assume their posts, they enter into combat with Pura, as you did. If they survive, she brings them here, as she did with us. She is the guardian of the Crown of the Sun, and a powerful sorceress. But you have defeated her. It is no wonder Florian and the others of the House of Valor have come to place their trust in you. We Keepers routinely delve into the depths of Caer Elatha to make minute adjustments to the crossing, ensuring its power remains under control. Find the crossing, and Halcyon will undoubtedly be nearby. Take caution in these lands, mortal. Your kind is particularly susceptible.
Welcome, mortal. I can heal your vessel if you require it. It is my role. Farewell.
You should feel privileged. The crossing is not a place of mortal business. You are the first to come this far. That essence of Fellfire Bloom is meant for the crossing, yes? To cure this region of the Narker curse? I will not allow it. Florian, in all his wisdom, does not see what I see. That the crossing is a solution to this long winter. No Fey empire has ever risen so. It is not the way of things. I have been using the power of the crossing to gradually tip the balance of magic in favor of the Summer Fey in Ulcerund. But this had unfortunate side effects. The crossing is tied to the magical essence of this land, and so are the Fey of this region. My tampering has driven them to madness. It is a necessary corruption. Better for a few of us to be mad than to wait for this long winter to end. I end you. Florian and the others cannot know what I have done. Not until I am finished and the long winter ended. Fare you well.
I see. Alcir's devotion to his king and court was more powerful than our friendship. That he would compromise his own kind to end the long winter is deeply unsettling. Perhaps, in the end, he'd become Narka himself. You have my thanks. Please, take these. They are imbued with Fey magic, and should aid you wherever you may go. I serve the Unseelie court. I was chosen to guard the crossing as the winter representative, to watch over its power during the long winter. The crossing has changed. I can feel it. But whether it undid the damage Halcyon inflicted remains to be seen. Return to Florian and report what transpired. Take caution in these lands.
is good to see.
I can feel a change in the air. The taint of the Naka curse is rapidly dissipating. A shame it was caused by one of the Sealy's own. The Circle and I will take our leave. A small number of Naka will undoubtedly remain. We will reclaim our brethren and defeat what Naka are left. Thanks to you, perhaps Alcerund will recover from the Naka after all.
Farewell, mortal.
We are the Circle of Engard. Mortals are too fragile for these lands. You see.
The Withering War swept across the land. Seelie and Unseelie fought each other. The House of Valor was abandoned for the battlefields of Isa and Own. Engard battled hordes as the warriors of Valor thrived on the plains of Erethel. The storm grew as they joined the war, and the Seelie threw back the invaders. When the armies of Own subsided, the Seelie returned to the land, and the House of Valor was forever changed. The conflict of the cycle waned, and the Fae now embodied the peace of sleep. Engard no longer fought, and was without purpose. The great cycle turned through the ages. Seasons passed. A mortal defeated the champion of Valor. His name was Hroth Magnus.
We do not know for certain how